One. Greetings and welcome to For the Queen. I'm Catherine of Sky, and I am joined by my two very nice friends. We have Maud Dagnon, otherwise known as Tony, and we have his wife Mari. And we're all going to play together this game, which is kind of like a storytelling game. There's no winning and losing, but the object is to tell a story based on the prompts on the cards that we're going to get. So this is kind of like a board game. And what you see on the board right now is all of the queens that we have to pick from. We've already actually chosen one because we liked her the best. I had gone on the internet and found a lot of new queens to add to this. And that is going to be our queen for today. So are we ready?
Yep.
Aye, aye.
Okay, let's go. Take it away.
All right. So I'm going to read the rules of the game. Just they come on these little cards. And you're supposed to read them around the circle, but it's a little hard to do sometimes. Where did that one go? Why did you? I'm trying to drop it on the table and it won't come out. There it is.
Naughty.
And it's super tiny, so that's not useful. So
There we go.
go around the table clockwise, taking turns. Read these cards aloud. The land you live in has been at war for as long as any of you have been alive. The Queen has decided to undertake a long and perilous journey to broker an alliance with a distant power. She chose you because she knows you love her. Oh, never, I missed one. The Queen has chosen all of you and no one else to be her retinue and accompany her on this journey. She chose you because she knows that you love her. You are welcome to look through the Queen cards for inspiration. If there is one that seems right for the group, place it in the table to inspire your story. Set the card that reads "The Queen is under attack. Do you defend her?" aside. Shuffle the red prompt cards.
I was going to say, yeah, that one is the one we put kind of in the back end of the deck, and that's the card that ends the game.
Yeah. Shuffle the red prompt cards and place them face down in the center of the table. Put the Queen is under attack card in the middle of the deck for a game that takes approximately 30 minutes, or shuffle it into the bottom third of the deck to play for an hour or more.
I think we should go about halfway because we tend to elaborate a lot, and we're like shooting for 45 minutes.
Yeah, there's gonna be some time there, I'm sure. When you have read the instruction cards, continue clockwise with the red prompt cards. Take turns reading the questions out loud, interpret these questions, and answer them however you wish. Other players may ask you questions or make suggestions on your turn, but whether you answer those questions or include those suggestions is entirely up to you. Place the X card somewhere everyone can easily reach it. If you encounter a card or an answer that you don't want to be included in the game, tap the X card. That content is removed from the game. We don't have the... I mean, we can kind of ping it with Roll20, but we aren't
I think we should
physically
just
in
say
play.
X card, and that's if people are not familiar with the term X card, it basically is a thing where if anyone's uncomfortable with a topic or they don't want to talk about it or for whatever reason, you just say X card and the topic is dropped. You don't even have to give a reason. It's just about people feeling comfortable with what's discussed, and some people have certain things they like to avoid. So that's like a safety card in this game.
Okay, you can back into my hand. There, go back into my hand. If you draw a card that is removed this way, simply draw another card. You can X a card that you drew yourself. You can also pass on your turn. To do so, give the prompt card you drew to the next player and say, "I'd like to hear your answer to this question." A prompt card can be passed around the table until someone applies the X card to it. Continue answering, passing, and Xing questions until the Queen is under attack card is drawn. Each player should answer that question in turn, and then the game is over. Whoever wants to can draw the first prompt card, although I actually haven't shuffled the deck up.
You need to take out the end card then, too.
Yeah, the problem is Roll20 doesn't, like, I can't put the card back in the deck So I have to like shuffle it and see if it's like somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle, and I intentionally wasn't reading
Huh.
the prompts.
Uh-huh.
Because it's not a real deck of cards.
Hmm.
It's actually like a database table that
Yeah,
gets
yeah, of course.
randomized. Um, but yeah, it's roughly in the middle of the deck.
Sounds good.
And then we draw the first card, and who wants to answer it? We'll start there.
Well, I think you should because you're the first player listed on the left there.
No, true. I can do that. Why do you think the Queen trusts you enough to bring you on this journey? I think the Queen trusts me that much because I am the head of her personal guard. And who doesn't trust the head of their personal guard to go with them on
Oh,
a journey?
that's a good point. I'm kind of amused that only 3 of us are going on this journey with perilous lands.
I, I mean, that particular rule is one that we
She has
tend.
chosen you and no one else.
Yeah, there tends to be a little bit of flexibility in that rule because quite often, like there will be like retinue that we will have
Mm-hmm.
like servants and stuff along with when I play this
True,
game.
true. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mari.
Alrighty.
Draw your card. Sorry,
What on earth?
were you gonna draw your card?
I'm trying to, but it's won't let me pick it up.
Oh, well, I'll draw it out then for you.
Alright.
Ooh.
Who is this distant power you are traveling to, and why do they make you uneasy? I believe we are on this journey to visit the Queen's great uncle.
And
Why do they make you uneasy?
I've heard rumors that he is a necromancer.
Whoa,
ooh.
necromancer. Okay, that's heavy. All right.
We have a distant necromancer, maybe a kingdom of necromancy, maybe just a
Mm-hmm.
secret tower deep in the dark forest or something. Who knows?
There's
Right.
really no proof of it, but I tend to be a bit gossipy.
Oh yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Indeed.
When did you know you were in love with the queen? I think it was the first time we met. She was in her garden picking pearls from all of the oysters. We were walking amongst the seaweed and just, flirting like you do, our bubbles intertwining as they went toward the surface. And she was just so beautiful. And I touched her hand and she touched mine. And there was this kind of electric moment between us. And it was all, all kisses and laughter after that. Our hair kind of floating in the gentle currents. And I just love our mermaid queen. I, mm, yeah.
We're people.
That changes things. Oh, oh, this is so. I am picturing the uncle being kind of like Ursula, and now we're
Oh.
going down into like a trench in the ocean instead of like
Mm-hmm.
into the dark forest.
Could be, could
Oh.
be. Could be a
Oh,
dark kelp forest or
Oh.
or I don't know, kelp that's rotted and blackened
ooh, maybe
because
all of the
it may
above.
be like a continental shelf that like, went downward, dropped off and like everything's blackened down there and it's dark and it's just scary.
I like
That could be
it.
why the rumors
And
are so
like
prevalent.
necromancer can still work because like it could be like the fishes risen from the dead. You know those creepy looking ones, like the really deep sea ones that are like
Oh
have the
yeah.
fangs and crap.
Hmm.
Yeah, imagine those
Angler.
as
Oh my
necromancer little
goodness.
minions.
Zombie anglerfish.
Yeah, zombie
That's
anglerfish.
that's
Yes,
a
let's
band name.
go.
Zombie anglerfish
Yes,
is a terrifying thought.
yes.
All right, so That is.
I've had that idea from the beginning, by the way, and I was hoping
Brilliant.
that we wouldn't get too far into the dark forest.
Hey, I like it. I like it. The queen has punished me once. What about the memory of that will stay with you forever? Oh, the time the queen punished me. That was a that was a that was a difficult day. I found the queen. I was she escaped from me. She got into the seaweed, into the kelp forest, and I lost sight of her, and she got away, and it took me a while to find her. And when I found her, she was fine, and she was just sitting on a rock playing with a, a, a crab. And when when I just playing with a crab. When
Yes.
I finally arrived,
Poor kitty.
she looked at me and she says, "How are you supposed to be the how are you supposed to be the leader of my personal guard if you can't even keep up with me?" And she punished
Ouch.
me by making me sit there while she went back to the castle and told me not to come back until the sunset.
Wow.
And that
That's rough.
memory will sit with me because I could not do my duty. I could not I could not protect her in that moment.
Hmm.
Mari,
All right.
can you still not draw cards?
Oh, there it is, finally. What did you bring with you to protect the queen? Well, seeing as I'm just her cook, I I brought food.
He brought food.
Well, I refuse to let her eat whatever is growing down in that cesspool of a area. Granted, I've never been there myself, but who would want to?
Good point. Who knows if there's stuff that's edible down there? I mean, I guess the people
Exactly.
who live down there probably eat stuff, but we don't know what's safe.
And his uncle might poison her. You never know.
Mm.
So what
All
did you
right.
bring along? Just the food?
Crabs. She loves crabs.
She loves crabs. Huh?
I was sure to bring fruit at the very least. If she continues eating crabs like that, she's going to turn into one, I swear.
Card. What brings out the queen's kindness? I've known the queen for a very long time now. I can say that almost anything would bring out her kindness. She does have the kindest temperament of any monarch I've ever, had the privilege of knowing and or have even heard of, from distant kingdoms and queendoms, of course. But she is a very gentle soul, and she seems to like to make friends with people and animals alike. Even though she eats some of these crabs, she does play with them in the gardens from time to time and just kisses the little fishes that come up to her, and she tickles the fins of all the other creatures that come around and swim in our paradise under the sea. And I think anytime anyone says a kind word to her, she returns it and is always genuine in what she says and does. So I think anyone who knows our fair queen would be impressed with the beauty of her spirit because she's quite an extraordinary woman.
Excellent.
Hmm.
My card. How does the queen remind you of her status while on this journey? Well, she makes sure that I know because I'm always on guard for her safety. It's my job. I have to be.
She likes to tease you, it sounds like.
I mean, yes, she also likes to tease me.
Yes, I've seen some of that.
Well, of
Mm-hmm.
course. A queen teases her subjects when she likes them, and a good queen flirts with them just a little bit to keep them happy.
Mm,
But I never go any further than flirting.
you better not. She's my queen.
She's all of our queen.
As an old mer,
if you say
youngins.
so, if you say so.
Just because we don't share her bedchamber does not mean that she is not our queen.
You young mers, back in my day, we didn't flirt as often as you did.
Do. Anyways. Mari, your
Card.
turn.
The queen is responsible for the death of someone you loved. Who? What happened? Ugh, this again. No matter how many times she says sorry, I will always remind her it was not her fault. She was very young at the time.
Hmm.
In the
So,
kelp forest, the kelp itself is thick enough to carve down and make housing with, you see.
mhm.
And while my husband was out there, she had wandered into the kelp forest, and one of them had nearly fallen on her. But he managed to get her out of the way just in time. Unfortunately, the kelp had fallen on him.
Oh no.
The poor dear was so broken that day, I could only comfort her by giving her her favorite crab cakes
Mhm.
and assuring her that nature has its ways, and sometimes its ways are unknowable and often unjust.
I gotta say, you're a hardcore cook. I mean, your husband just got killed by a kelp tree, and you're like here cooking for her. that's
He know
that's
he knew
pretty
the risk.
hardcore.
He
What
knew
I
the
want
risk
to
going in there. We agreed that whatever happens, happens.
what I want to know, what I want to know is how do you make a crab cake underwater? Like how do you get like that fluffiness of a cake to not just be all like soggy and squishy underwater?
What do you mean? Crab cakes are quite thick.
Well, yeah, but
I dare say they're as thick as some coral.
Now, you do know that crab cakes are not made out of cake, right?
I've had crab cakes and they're
Are
fluffy.
you confusing crab cakes with sponge cake, dear?
I think he is. I think our head
I'm.
guard. There are reasons why our queen would punish him. He might not be all that bright upstairs.
You know what? I'm going to make a sponge cake tonight. It's high time you had
Show
some
him the
yourself, dearie.
difference between a crab cake and a sponge cake. That will definitely get the point through to him.
Okay, so now my character's a bit of a moron.
Really? Yes.
No.
No, it's fine. My
A
my
little thick,
character,
a little thick.
he's
It's fine.
he's just a bit of a himbo.
He's
It's
all brawn,
okay.
no brains. It's fine.
He's
It's
a
okay.
himbo.
A himbo? What's that?
It's attractive, physically useful, not very bright.
I
Uh,
see. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So next card is mine. Why are some others at the royal court jealous of your relationship with the queen? Well, of course, being the consort of the queen, it is very natural for other people to overvalue my relationship with her. because they would wish it for themselves. However, I don't think that they know that even though the queen does bestow some favors upon me, she doesn't exactly shower me with gold or riches or anything like that, because our relationship is so much deeper than that, and it doesn't need those trappings of riches or power or anything like that. And I think some people are under the impression that it is the other way around. And if they were in that position, they would have riches beyond imagining, which shows just how shallow they are. But for my part, I don't really understand it, and I do try to ignore when people come up to me and are just terribly grating about the whole, like, well, or if I were in your shoes, I would ask the queen for this or that or the other thing, because it's just so base. Yeah. Glad I don't have to talk to too many of those people around. But I'm also very glad that the company we're keeping on this journey is not so coarse in their manners.
I ask for nothing from the queen.
Well, you get
I've
a
made more
paycheck, which
crab
is
cakes.
great.
Well,
You
yeah.
made more crab cakes. Make the sponge cake quick.
Oh,
Sponge
I
cake
just
is
thought
up
of a thing I
is
would
already on the table.
ask her for.
Oh.
I would ask that the queen slows down.
So she doesn't outrate you.
I would ask that she does not make attempts to escape her guard. It makes it much more
Mm,
difficult for me to do my job.
right,
There's
right.
always been a slippery one.
Yeah, she's a slippery one. Yeah, with a tail like hers, she just flits off into the distance, and it's hard to catch her.
Indeed. No, I keep trying to drop the card in the section that's not on the board.
Hmm.
The queen touched you once. What about the memory of that will stay with you forever? I think one time after I defended her from a shark,
Mm-hmm.
this shark came out and it was injured and it was angry and it was probably quite hungry as well. And so I defended it off and I scared it away. I didn't kill it, but it needed to leave. She thanked me by cupping my hand or cupping my face in her hands and laying a gentle kiss upon my forehead.
Hmm.
And the memory of that will stay with me forever because that was the moment that I fell in love with her. Before that, I was just her protector. I was just her bodyguard. After that, I I would do anything for her. I would face down any threat. I would die if it meant she continued to live.
Well, we're so glad that you are loyal to our queen.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
Mari?
Come here, you. Play nice. I said play nice. Mouse is being weird. Oh dear, I think it's dying. That's
You need a
nice.
new battery?
Oh wait.
Or are you good?
Yeah, I need a new battery. My mouse just died.
Oh, all right. Well, you can answer the
Okay.
question. I'll bring you a battery.
Alrighty. When was the last time the Queen showed you real kindness? Oh, why just the night before?
Mm-hmm. And what did she do?
Well, she.
Or what did you do to deserve this kindness that she bestowed upon you?
Well, normally she would thank me when I bring her her meal and send me off, but today she gave me a hug. It wasn't like the hugs that she would give me when she was younger. It was more or less a rather sensitive one.
Oh,
I could swear she had tears in her eyes. That poor dear, I wonder what is bothering her.
do you think she has something on her mind?
Whatever it is, it better not have to do with that. It individual we are to see in the trenches.
Oh dear, yes, the uncle. I wouldn't be surprised if she was brooding a bit over that because that man, that odious man, we know his reputation.
I heard that oh, for the love of, he will break the fin scales off of other mers and bury them in his yard as if they were
Oh,
trophies.
how terrible!
I
It's
know.
disgusting. Oh my god, what cruelty.
Hmm.
Well, I hope that these rumors are lies because getting our queen into such a situation sounds extremely perilous. I hope you're on guard, Tony.
I am,
Make sure that nothing shall happen to our fair queen.
I am always on guard. I barely sleep.
Okay.
When's the last time you slept? Let me make you a tea.
You are considered beautiful by almost everyone you meet. How does the queen make you question that perception?
Hmm.
I don't actually know how to
Probably
answer that
showing
one.
favoritism.
You can just exit if you don't like it.
Or yeah.
I think I'm going to exit because it doesn't really fit with the story.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
that's fine. You just draw another card at that point. That one fits better.
Oh.
Yes, the queen knows something about you that no one else does. What is it? Hmm. The queen knows that even though I act sometimes flighty in front of the rest of the court, just to throw them off a tiny bit, make them think I'm a bit shallow or a bit, I don't know, not quite as invested as they think. The queen knows that I would do anything for her, that I am absolutely loyal toward her, and would never let any harm come to her or any negative thing befall her. She finds it quite amusing that I play this double role in our society and at court, and she giggles often in the bed when we discuss it. we we like this kind of play acting. She finds court and all of the duties that she must perform and all of the roles she has and the faces she must put on before all the people that meet her and want to be around her. She finds this extremely tiresome. And just having this tiny game that we play, just the two of us together, that lightens her load and makes her spirit sing just a tiny bit as she goes about her daily duties.
And I go about my cooking duties pretending not to know.
Oh, I know
I
that you're smarter than you act. You outsmart me all the time.
I'm not going to say something mean there. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice.
I left it open. I
I
did.
know you
No.
I know you did, but I'm nice. I'm nice this playthrough.
Yeah, and I'm not the treacherous, like, traitorous.
Yep.
I the last couple of times I've been the bad guy in a way. There is someone else in this retinue you love besides the queen. How and why are you keeping it a secret? Hmm. I don't know if I like that one. One, there's only three of us, and I don't
Yeah.
like the idea of any of these. I'm just gonna cut that one and draw another card.
Okay.
What do you do that pleases the queen on this journey? Oh, I can do that one. That one I like. I hunt as well as perform my duties as a bodyguard.
Hmm.
Like while we are traversing, while we are swimming along, I am always keeping an eye out for things for us to eat, um for things for us to gather, to trade when we arrive in the new in the new kingdom, in the new place. So I am constantly bettering our situation as we go.
Hmm.
Thank you for
Since
that. I was able to make a great sea berry pudding.
sea
Yeah, that's
berry
great.
pudding
Of course,
sounds
sea berry pudding. It's great stuff. I like
sounds
it.
delicious. I
A
would probably
delicacy.
eat sea berry pudding.
Well, the berries themselves don't grow around the kingdom, and it isn't often we're able to partake.
Mm. Yeah, out here in the wilds, there's all kinds of other different game to catch and spear and shoot and hunt and all that stuff, as well as the flora in the environment. We're quite a ways out from the castle, and though we grow some wonderful things, there are some things that can only grow in the wild. So I'm glad that our fair cook is able to utilize all of these new ingredients so we can have some nice delicacies along the way.
Speaking of delicacies, if you find a giant blue crab, do catch it. I can make a mean feast with that.
Mm.
What brings out the queen's cruelty?
Mm.
Hmm. The only time I can remember her showing a cruel act was the day she refused to eat.
Oh,
It was
when
just
was
the day.
that?
It was the day before our journey. She had been
Mhm.
holed up in her room, and I had attempted to bring her a stew, and the girl had tossed it against the wall. Well, to this moment, she had yet to tell me what it is about this adventure we are on. I was hoping that making just the nice kind of meal will get her to open up a little more. Perhaps one of you know? What has her so on edge about it all?
I do know, I confess, but I don't know if I should share it with you. It is a bit of a private matter. There are there are things that we will see in this kingdom that will shock and horrify us. There are people that will tell horrid stories about true things, about cruelties, about this emperor that we will meet. Her uncle is a very powerful man, and
Is it
he reigns. Hmm?
is it true that there are 30-foot long eels that guard the castle and eat unsuspecting passerbys?
Yes, they're electric as well.
Oh my
So you get
goodness.
a good jolt before you're swallowed down those eel gullets that are like a mile long or a kilometer, depending on your proclivities. But this emperor rules over the darkest of kingdoms, and as you may be aware, most of the bottom of the sea is black as night. So his kingdom stretches as far as the eyes cannot see.
I'm no guard, but let's hope I am at least Mur enough to be a shield for the dear lady.
Ah, do not worry. He does not dare touch her because she has something over him. I don't know what it is. She hasn't told me yet. But I do know that she is safe from him at least. He would not dare to touch her.
I'm just sitting
Really?
here trying to figure out how you make soup underwater.
It's a SpongeBob logic. Don't think about it too hard. It's not that deep.
And here I thought you were going to compliment me on like how you make up such great stories. And I'm like, I didn't even finish about the guy, but I didn't want it to go too long. And you're like, how to make soup underwater.
Said stew. Stew is thick.
Viscosity, gravity, work it out.
That's
Okay, next card.
that's just me.
Yes, I can tell. Ah, Right.
You're a foreigner?
The queen is not your queen. Why do you serve her anyway? That is very true. She is not my original queen. I was born in a faraway land where we are closer to the surface. We play in the sunlight on the tops of the waves and run along all of the foam. We are the surface mer, the ones that are famous for drawing sailors to their watery graves.
A siren?
We are the sirens, and our queen is magnificent. I mean, that is how we got our names, and how the land folk cannot resist us. It was our queen, in fact, who started the tradition of collecting these poor sailors and dragging them down to the depths with us.
You're not in
She, of
cahoots
course.
with the
Sorry?
necromancer, are you?
No. He is much deeper than deeper than us, where we live. But our queen, the Siren Queen, is a cruel merwoman indeed. She, well, she might rival the cruelty of the Emperor of the Deep. But she was my original queen, and of course, I was visiting. That was the day that I fell in love with our queen. I was visiting our kingdom. I mean, our current kingdom. This is very difficult when you're talking in the past. And of course, I was close to the Siren Queen. I was part of her retinue, so I was allowed in the royal gardens. And that's when I met her, and my hand brushed hers. I didn't even know she was the queen. We hadn't even been introduced yet. But it was that magical moment that sealed our fates together. And that is why I serve our queen.
You're hardly scandalous.
It's wonderful.
No.
Also, I have to
Hmm?
ask the question. So, based on like some of the stuff that we've established, are we at war with the humans on the surface?
Oh,
Is that the
I don't
war?
I don't know, maybe.
We can
Or
just think
maybe
on it. Like,
well, what I would wonder is, like, why would we be at war with the humans on the surface, and how could they possibly attack us? So I think we might be at war with another sea kingdom. That's
we
my
could be.
logic there. You know?
with the
I mean,
siren.
there are ways that they could be attacking. Like they could be dropping things into the water that like explode when they get down to the
Mm-hmm.
bottom or something.
True. All right, well, let's find a turn and we'll figure it out.
Okay,
Card.
card it is. No, I am too loyal. I just like I saw the ambush card and I'm like I would not have done that. I am too loyal.
That's right. Exit.
Hmm. You are considered ugly by almost everyone you meet. How does the queen make you question that perception? Maybe I'm a little less of a himbo. I'm not so pretty.
Mm.
I'm bold, and I have an appearance that some would consider interesting.
Like CW pretty or HBO pretty?
I'm neither of those things. I'm more. Ooh. I wonder if my like type of merfolk has more like fish-like facial features, like a little bit of scaling or something like
Mm-hmm.
that on their face,
Sure.
Fin ears?
and so is not as is not as beautiful by the more human-faced ones of the kingdom. Maybe I am also from another kingdom. Maybe I'm from the deep.
Mm.
Oh.
That's a good point.
We get a little more of the fish in us down there.
Mm-hmm.
And the queen makes me question that perception because she trusts me and she has kissed me on the forehead, but still.
Aw.
Hmm.
She doesn't treat me as lesser in any way.
And she should not. She's our wonderful fair queen of fair morals as well. Why would she treat you any differently? Because you look a little bit more fishy. Oh God, I just realized what I just said. Fishy is not ugly. Fishy is different in a different culture.
I've said some
Anybody
things
seen
about...
Drag Race? Fishy?
Oh,
Yep.
I have not actually.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty fishy
I may
fishy.
have said some things about the Under Kingdom. I hope they haven't offended you.
Are you offended, Tony?
No,
Oh, that's good.
I am fine.
Yeah, I
That's what I'm
I
gonna
think that just as a side note, it seems to be we have this kind of a gradation of features and stuff that goes from the surface folk, the sirens, because the sirens, of course, some of those sailors they use for breeding purposes, shall we say, and therefore they have acquired more human features over time. So they're a
Oh.
little bit less scaly on the face, so they have a little bit more human faces. And then, of course, people travel between kingdoms. And I think where we live in our kingdom, we're a little bit human, little bit fish. And then the deep people are like the fish. And you might even have like spines sticking out of your face. Do you have any spines sticking out of your face, Tony? I can't see you. You're behind the other wall.
I
Like
don't think I
crazy
have.
teeth sticking out?
I don't think I have. I don't think I have spines. I think I might have sharp teeth. Yes, sharp teeth.
Oh.
Ah,
I
sharp
have
teeth.
I have like fang-like teeth there where
Right.
because
Okay.
I think my people are carnivorous. We don't eat. Uh,
Right.
we can eat non-meat, but we generally don't.
Explain why you don't know what a
Crab cake is?
crab cake or sponge cake is. You poor
We're still
dear.
on sponge cake. Have you finished that sponge cake yet?
Oh, it was finished a while ago.
Oh, good.
It's
Oh, good.
cooling right now.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Okay, so whose turn is it? Is it Mari?
Mari's.
Are you?
Yes, mine.
Okay.
Come here, card. I decided to come here, card. You'd be so rude.
We get lost track in this
You
game.
were summoned to a private meeting with the Queen once. Why did you feel disappointed afterward? Hmm. Well, the private meeting in question was when this adventure was announced. I was under the impression that my other two husbands were coming along. But no, she just asked for me.
I can imagine you'd feel lonely on the trip without both of your husbands with you.
I'm sure they're fine, but it's been quite some time and I do miss them.
Hmm. Yes, I am lucky that I have my love with me. I would be very bereft without her, for sure.
Yes, I wonder who this could be. Oh, would you look at that? I've got some coral to chop.
Okay. Otherwise meaning card.
Yes.
The Queen gave you a compliment once. What was it, and why have her words stayed with you? I think the greatest compliment for me was the time when she noticed my loyalty toward her. Because loyalty is a gift that you give of your whole heart and you invest your whole soul into it. It's a very special, prized thing that we can give to another. And I was so touched that she noticed. You know, she acknowledged my investment in her and my love for her. And that was really important to me because she's the queen. She has so many things on her mind. Every meeting and schedule and people and all the different things that she has to do. But in that moment, she was present. She was aware. She gifted herself to me in the form of listening and hearing what I said. and returned that favor with that beautiful compliment.
Excellent.
She really loves to listen to you sing.
What make... I think I'm gonna go like shallow with this one. What makes the
Okay.
queen ugly in your eyes? Well, she doesn't have fangs. She
Oh
doesn't have
dear.
scales on her face. She is too human. She looks too much like a human for my taste. I love her. I love her so much, and I will protect her to the end of my days, but not my taste.
Not everybody can be perfect.
My great grandfather had fangs. Sadly, my generation missed out on the joys of being able to bite through more coarse things.
All
All
right,
right, Mari.
card.
Oh, lady. Let's go, card. What part of this journey will be the most difficult? How do you pull the rest of the retinue through it? Well, we've approached a point in our journey where the trenches are coming closer and rations are becoming a bit scarce, and so I'm doing my very best to pull us through by, would you believe it, I've had to dig into the coral tack to as filler for our meals. I do hope you forgive me. I've been trying to make them as palatable as I could.
Ah, the food has been excellent as always, chef. And I think we're quite happy to be alive rather than the opposite.
I hope we stay that way.
I'm just sitting there eating a like half dead shrimp. It was just a live shrimp that I took a bite out of. Just wait, what? You
Nice.
guys are worried about
Did
the
you just
food?
eat that out of the? Did you just eat that out of the? My goodness, why would you eat that raw?
Why wouldn't you? It's delicious.
Is it now? I
Crunch,
suppose a little
crunch,
taste.
crunch.
I suppose a little taste couldn't hurt. I am curious.
Just throw
Is
the
it like
last
anything like crab?
I can see you like handing him a box a vial of spice to put on top of it at the very least.
I just pass like the other half of the shrimp that I haven't eaten and just like the third or fourth bite over to you and like go ahead. And I just grab another one. They're not very big, but they're just around, and if you're quick enough, you can grab them.
Mm, nice. Okay. When did you know you would never forgive the queen and why? This doesn't really fit with my character, so I'm going to pass it to Tony.
Ooh, when did I know I would never forgive her? Actually, I kind of like that card. How do I work with that one? I will never forgive her. I will never forgive her for hmm. I will never forgive her um for taking a lover.
Oh,
Why not? Queen should have love. You
I
wouldn't deny it to yourself. Why would you deny it to our queen?
I am I am a simple man, but I am a bit cruel.
Hmm.
I cannot forgive her for loving anyone other than me. Despite the fact that I do not appreciate her appearance, she is still beautiful and still amazing. She's an amazing person. But
Hmm.
I will never forgive her for not choosing me.
And you still hold that grudge against me, do you?
oh.
Yes.
Yes, I knew it. I have seen your work.
I do nothing with that grudge.
Oh, really? Oh, really? You don't put little nasty notes in my chambers, and you don't create pitfalls for me so I trip and fall on the floor, or get my hands messy with um,
Would you
random
look at
junk in
that
the garden that you
cake
just
is ready.
put tiny traps out there for me. I know it's you.
How
Don't deny it.
how do you trip while swimming?
I'm doing my best.
I
I don't know.
Get
No,
your
we
tail
don't have
tangled
to
in
have
some
logic. I'm trying to
some
think of like anything I can think of, and it's
vines.
not coming. So,
Hey, you're the one who picked the
oh,
merfolk thing.
I did. But
What if it's like some sort of morph thing? If we're standing on the ground where our like fins can part to have legs, but if we're like swimming, they close together.
Also, should I answer a card because you got my card?
That I don't
Or
know if
no,
we
this
ever.
is actually a better card for you. Never mind. Go on.
Yeah, you have a personal connection to the land you are currently traveling through. What makes you want to stay, and why don't you? The area we're traveling through, this is the area I grew up in. We've crossed the threshold into the deep, like we're really in now.
Oh,
We there is no sunlight anymore. We have only darkness. The only light comes from the angler fish that we have following with us. They are not intelligent, but they just follow along, and their light provides just enough to see in front of us.
Hmm.
let him
And
guide our fins.
I would like to stay because this is where I was born. This is where my people are from. Ooh, I like the idea that I'm also slightly translucent. Like my skin is somewhat translucent. You can
Are you
see.
saying we can see your brain through your skin?
No, there's a skull there. You can see the skull through the skin.
Are you also bioluminescent?
I think now I am. Now that we are down in
Yes.
the dark, I'm slightly bioluminescent. Just not enough to
So are
cast light, but enough
can
that
we see your guts and your intestines and all the bits moving around and stuff as
yes,
well?
These
yes.
Oh,
naked ones,
lovely.
they're not
That's
uncomfortable.
beautiful.
And
That's
it's
nice.
become more obvious and pronounced as we get deeper. Like as we get
Hmm.
further down into the depths, I am
Uh-huh.
more blatantly like translucent and I glow just a tiny bit. Not enough to cast light, but enough that you can see me in the dark.
Right. All right. Card.
Wahoo. You suspect this journey isn't just about diplomatic negotiations. What else do you believe is going on and why? Oh, I've heard and suspected so many things about this awful kingdom.
It's not
I
that
would
bad.
swear.
Sorry.
So what is going on in this awful kingdom?
What, when I had walked into the queen's chambers to deliver her morning meal, there was a something she was holding. It was this strange glowing green thing. I believe she was quite upset that I witnessed it.
Hmm.
She shooed me away rather hastily.
Hmm.
Whatever it was, it looked to be something of great value. I would hope she is not trying to give something from the treasury to that uncle of hers.
Hmm.
Oh, I forgot they're related. Is she kind of?
It's like her uncle, I think. We decided.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uncles.
Would she have some glow about her too, as well?
Hmm, could be uncle on mother's side. No.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably.
related. The queen sometimes shows interest in your personal life. How do you respond to that, and why? Queen is ever interested in my hobbies, and I have manifold hobbies. many and various things do I do for our kingdom or our queendom and the queen herself. I take a great interest in gardening, for example, and pearl collecting because jewelry is one of our queen's tiny indulgences, shall we say. And I take great care and great pride in making sure our queen looks exquisite. You can see in the portrait of our queen that is the crown I created for her. And the dress was done by our seamstress, but I attached every one of those translucent shells onto the back to make her look absolutely exquisite. I also do many other things. I create bouquets for her to lighten our atmosphere, and she loves all of the things that I produce, and I give to her with the greatest kindness and affection. So that is why she is so keen on me developing new interests, because it benefits all of us, really. Because I work very hard for our queen, and I love her.
Was beautiful in that. It was happier times.
Mm.
I wouldn't give to have those back for her.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this current stress and tension with the war going on has been preying on her mind, especially since the war took a very bad turn a tiny bit ago. And I can only hope that her uncle can do something. I don't know if she can convince him, but we will see.
Side note, that dress is very lovely.
Neptune does.
It's
I don't
incredible.
know who
Maybe
created.
I should cosplay that.
I don't know who created that piece of art. There is not a like signature on it wherever you got it from, but that is an amazing picture.
I got it from the internet.
That dress is fantastic. The detail work on her shoulder blades and whatnot, like
Yep.
that's just it's so good. So well done.
Really pretty.
What do you do to disappoint the queen on this journey? I think she does not like that I eat raw, just raw fish and critters that I come across. I just sometimes I will just snatch them and eat them. And she
Now, a
does not.
queen does like the table manners. I mean, if you're just going to grab raw things out of the sea and start munching on them in front of her, with all the blood and guts dribbling into the water around us, filling the whole place with a red haze, of course she's going to be disappointed in you. You're sloppy.
I'm not that messy. Most of them are
You
only
say
eaten in
with-
one bite.
You say with shells in your teeth?
My teeth are separated far enough that the shells do not get stuck in them.
Tell that to the
So
one
you
that's sticking
say.
between your front ones, dearie.
Indeed. We can all see it from here.
Although I must thank you, those tiny shrimp have done wonders to fill out our coffers. That was the right word.
Yes.
All right, Mari, it's your guard. I'm just picking the simple answer.
The queen's under attack.
Do you defend
her?
Oh
no!
I feel like we're already at the palace at this point.
Oh yeah, we got to get attacked by those big eels. Those got brought up.
Ah, yes, of course.
We've got giant electric
or
eels.
Or are there some kind of like thieves from the forest that come out to get us just before we get to the palace?
I can't remember.
I mean, I can see the king's guard from here, or the emperor's guard, but I don't know if they'll make it to us in time.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, they are very far out.
They know there are these dark forests hide innumerable thieves and brigands and horrible creatures that are scaly and black and have the most disgusting and gruesome looking monsters at their behest, ready to attack any unsuspecting traveler. And of course, we, being a bit silly, have traveled in a coach marked as that of a queen. We did not go incognito. How stupid of us. And so they have seen the royal seal on the door, and they have seen this decorated coach in gold and pearls shining its way down the roadway,
Trying to
and
imagine
we
what
are
this
an easy target for them.
are we being led
Seahorses.
by seahorse?
It's got to be seahorses.
It's got to be seahorses, yeah.
It's
Brilliant.
got to be. Like it's mandatory at this point that it
And
is seahorses.
I'm looking out the window. I see them. They're hopping out behind the kelp forest. The seahorses are whinnying and just almost screaming in terror. They don't know what's going on. Arrows are being flung in our direction. I can hear swords cutting at the outside of our carriage, and we need to find out: are we going to defend our queen?
Oh,
Thankfully for us, my husband is a very good carriage builder, so this should hold us long enough that we can, at the very least, find something to use as a weapon. I got a
uh,
rolling pin.
so
You
you're
gotta
just
roll.
fending them off with a rolling pin. So I have to ask Catherine, are you driving the wagon or are you in the back? Because I am definitely outside.
I think you're driving the wagon, aren't you?
I see. I could be driving,
Or
but
am I driving? I thought
the reason
I'm a little bit decorative, so I don't think I'm like driving and doing hard
I
jobs like
vote
that.
there's an NPC who's just been driving the whole time.
Okay, because I was actually gonna say, Mari, you should be driving because you just like
I
pull
should.
out a rolling pin and are driving. Because I want
You're whacking all the friggins.
I want to set a scene. I want to set a scene. I
All
want to
right, I'm
elaborate
listening.
a little bit. Okay,
Okay.
because it is just the four of us in this trip,
Right.
And the path we have taken has been dark and long. Um, and so I, as the only guard, the only actual guard along on this trip, I go and I just rush away from the carriage and I tell you to make a run for it because we can see the destination in the distance. And
Yeah, and I can even see the troops coming up because they know there are thieves in these forests. And so they have kind of sent out like a little bit of a search party, but they didn't think they would get us that deep into on the road.
mhm,
So I can see them in the distance. But yeah, again, I'm sticking my head out the carriage window and seeing all of this happen.
mhm. And I think I have you guys like run ahead basically, and I'll cover the rear, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lag behind and fight off any that try and catch up.
Okay.
And so yes, I defend the queen to the last if necessary.
Mari?
I have this the sheet that I was using for us to eat on when we stopped to take meal breaks. I have it over the queen and have and like hovering over her from
Well,
behind
you're
as we
outside. You're
race off.
driving the wagon.
I am.
I'm inside with her,
Oh, I thought you said
right?
racing ahead. I thought we were running out of the wagon for some reason.
Oh, I thought we got the horses under control and we were just taking the wagon and just like, giddy up kind of thing.
That's what I was picturing is just go
All
go
right
go
then.
like lash the
All right then.
reins.
All right, while that's going on, I like bury her under that and go, "Stay there, ma'am," and then just like, yeah. And that
So,
before that, I look back and just like toss the rolling pin at Tony's character, whose name I don't know.
We never made one.
we don't
Well,
have names. We just been calling him Tony. I think that's his nickname. I think that'll work for now.
It's fine.
toss the
We'll
rolling
change
pin
it
at
later.
Tony. Use this if you must.
I think
So-
I think the first one that gets at me gets a rolling pin to the face, just like throw it at them and just
And I am inside with the queen, kind of holding her, just protecting her with my body. And I notice, to my horror, there is one of the brigands has leaped up and jumped on the carriage. He's hanging onto the back and he opens the door to the carriage and he's inside the chamber with me and my queen. I quickly grab anything I can find and stab this brigand with a hairpin because that's my kind of weapon today. And he's in so much pain, he screams and falls back out the carriage door. And we are racing so fast he can't even possibly catch up. He might even get like crushed under one of the wheels, and it hurts a lot.
Lucky there's enough glowing at that castle, or we'd be making our way back into the kelp forest.
Mm-hmm. So I think we make it. We make it to the scouting party, and the queen is safe. and she loves us all the more. And of course, the guards keep continuing down the road to go and save Tony if he's still alive. Are
Hmm.
you still alive out there?
I think I was fending off all of them and like keeping them like I didn't win the fight, but I was managing to keep them
You're
slowed
kiting them or
down.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically I was kiting them, to use video game terms.
Woo.
um like I kept them busy and kept them distracted long enough for the carriage to escape and for the escort to get to me and actually deal with the threat.
Okay. All right. I think we've had a successful time. That was a great story. I enjoyed that very much.
This
That
calls for
was
a celebration. I will make my famous Krabby Patties.
Too bad we didn't get to figure out the mystery of all the stuff, but I think we kind of ran out of cards there. But it
Yeah.
is actually the perfect amount of time for a video because we're just over an hour now. And I guess that will bring this episode to a close. We hope very much that you have enjoyed this journey with us. Please let us know if you would like to participate. Come to us in Discord if you want to come and chat with us, and we can interview you for a place. And also, if you have any more cards ideas that we could possibly incorporate into the game, if there's something you think would relate to the queen that would make a good card, just let us know. And we're all open for that, both in my Discord and in Tony's. His name is Mod Than Yawn on YouTube and on Twitch, and hopefully you can check out his channel there. He's a fellow Factorian, so you can check out his content when we are all not playing for the Queen. So thank you all for joining me, and thank you everyone for watching us. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.